Alright, what is up YouTube? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be going over 10 tips to help you do better in War Thunder. Quick disclaimer, I'm not like the best War Thunder player, but I do perform consistently enough to be like top 6 maybe. So I'm going to pass down some of those tips that I've learned over the years of playing War Thunder, and I hope whether you are a veteran or you are an or a new player, hope there's something for you here to do better. And yeah, without wasting your time, let's get right into it. So tip number 1, and you see this everywhere: use your binoculars. It's a huge thing to gather information, whether you're like on a scout vehicle like me where you want to mark targets for your teams, or whether you just want to see what's ahead of you, see if you can get some cheeky shots on some unsuspecting players. Use your binoculars. It's usually a factor in whether you live and do good or go back to the hangar. And a little thing too, if you don't know this, if you're coming up on a ridge and you don't know what's on the other side, if you switch to your binoculars, it'll peek just enough over the ridge to see what's on the other side. And if you don't know where the binoculars are at or what they're binded to, go to options and go to controls, and you're gonna want to look under weaponry for the ground vehicles. See what it's binded to. If you don't like where it's binded at, bind it to something that you remember, something that you know. And yeah, on to the next tip. If you're a new player and you're having issues with ranges, make use of your rangefinder. Now you got 3 rangefinders as you go through the game. For the most part, you're gonna be eyeballing it with your crew, but once you start getting to like late Cold War, you're gonna get into rangefinder, which is a device that is not like your crew eyeballing it. It still takes a little bit of time, but it's more accurate in the distance. And then you have your laser rangefinder, which is found on modern tanks, which is essentially you laser target and it'll give you the distance and it'll lay your gun. So that is definitely worth utilizing a lot. And yeah, and even if you come into a situation where you're just unaware how far it is, just use a rangefinder. You can also, like, quick tip, if you didn't know, you can use your rangefinder from your binoculars. Essentially, just bring your binoculars, and from here I hit left on the D-pad, and it'll range find. Really good combination. Anyways, on to tip number 3. Understand the vehicle and the nation you are playing. So every nation in War Thunder has a certain characteristic to them. Some are well-armored tanks with good firepower, like the Russians. Some are glass cannons, like Japan and Sweden. Some have no depression, once again like Russians, so Russian vehicles. So understand the vehicle you're playing and the nation you're playing, because sometimes, especially when they're adding, now that they're adding like more like sub-trees to other nations, sometimes you have like a Soviet vehicle in, let's say, like a Swedish vehicle, right? And like your Swedish are known for having like good depression, right? But Soviet vehicles aren't, you know. So it helps understand the tank you're playing, and also understand like what kind of tank you're playing, you know. Like not just like, oh, I'm playing like this little light tank. No, like, what is my tank? Is it a light tank? Is it a medium tank? Is it a heavy tank? Is it an SPAA? And see how it plays in the battlefield, and learn its strengths, its weaknesses, and exploit them, you know. Tip number 4, and I see this a lot, and it sucks, but I also kind of agree with it. Don't spawn in cast too soon. If you get a kill or an assist, or you get a kill and you kept a point, unless you have just enough to spawn in your plane, unless you're willingly making that decision, don't spawn in a plane just for the hype of it. Take your time, spawn in an SPA, shoot down some planes, secure more points to have an additional spawn, like either a medium tank or another heavy tank or whatever. Don't do that. because if you go to bomb and you miss your bomb, or you kamikaze to just like miss, or you get shot out of the sky before you get to the game, it's not a good feeling. You're wasting spawn points, you're wasting RP, you're not going to be getting any, or not much, as you would if you stayed on the game longer. Definitely do that. And if you're having issues flying, if you're having issues bombing or seeing what's up, this goes on to tip number 5. Make use of test flights and test drive. I'm gonna touch up on the test flight in general. Just if you don't know how to bomb, you don't know how to fly, once again, because cast players have that stigma, and I'm a cast player, but like I know how to fly. Just learn. Go fly around on the test flight, or go to arcade and practice flying, or do some realistic, and just get the hang of flying around. Hold on. Sorry. Yeah, just get the hang of flying around and spend some time in there. Practice boom and zoom, practice turn fighting, do all that stuff. I know the test range is gonna get changed here pretty soon, so definitely see what's up. It never hurts to just go and kill time and practice flying. If you like flying, just go practice, you know. Before you know it, what you're learning, your angle of approach on bombing and stuff, is gonna get better, and you're gonna notice it translate in games, and before you know it, you're gonna be like a good cast player, where you know what to aim for, what to hit, where to aim, where to drop bombs. It's a lot of stuff. It's fun when you finally learn to be a decent cast player. It feels good because you do have an impact on the game. A lot of people don't like it because they're like, oh my god, cast on ground, ooh. I don't mind it. I love flying personally, and having that kind of coordination between air and ground is pretty cool. Plus you have some pretty cinematic moments, you know, so definitely good. And if people don't like it, if your team is getting bombed and you don't like it, this goes on to my next tip. Use SPAA. A lot of people don't like it because you don't do anything. You're just there in spawn. You don't necessarily have to be in spawn, but for the most part, people are in spawn with SPAA shooting planes dumb enough to approach them. It's good if you want to secure some kills. Plus, like, another thing too, if you happen to spawn in SPAA after getting like a kill or two, like it goes back to like what I said earlier about spawning in cast too soon, you have a chance of securing 2-3 more kills, and essentially what that does is get you more points. And if you're able to secure 3 kills on air, which if you're playing against America, they're always spawning cast, you're either going to be sending people to the hangars, or you're going to be clearing up the skies for your team to have dominance, you know. It is not something for everyone, but if you're aware enough to see that your team is getting bombed and you got to do something about it, switch to just to get on an SPAA. If you're not got enough of them, your kills are going to go up, your kill count is going to go up, is what I'm trying to say. And you know what's going to happen? You're going to get an RP bonus. That's going to go to your vehicle, your research. It's good. Who doesn't want more like RP bonuses, you know? So definitely do it. Yes, it's a thankless job. Yes, like it's not for everyone, but I definitely recommend you pick them up. And yes, if you're having a hard time shooting with like the 40mm, the BOFAs, in any nation that has them, what I would recommend you do with that is you just kind of like third person it. And there's a way you can do this on console, and the way I do it on like PlayStation, right? I like select the plane I'm targeting, so I'll hit X on it, it'll like bring up a little circle around them, and then I'll hold L2, which allows me to track them. If I'm not mistaken, PC can do this too, but you have to bind it. Definitely look on doing that. It'll help you track your target a lot better, it'll help you gauge distance better. And literally, honestly, what I would say for SPAA, you're gonna die either way, so just take like full ammo and just spit lead at the plane until it dies, you know. It's you'll learn. You eventually you understand the ballistics of like the SPAA you're using, so definitely do it. They've been adding a lot better like 20mm for like other nations too. It's like Italy has like the R3, right? French has a TPK and the I think the AMX. Japan has something else too. It'll get better. You just gotta make use of the SPAA, because if you don't, your team's gonna get bombed. They're gonna get mad. They're gonna leave, and you're just gonna be losing games. So definitely make use of SPAA. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say about that. Tip number 7, and this is more like as you're getting higher, as you're progressing through the ranks, bring a lineup. I don't get where people get this idea where bringing one tank is enough to get you like a lot of RP and stuff. This isn't realistic, you know. You're rewarded based on activity. You're rewarded based on how long you've been on the battlefield. For every action you do, you're rewarded for it. Bring a lineup. Because personally, I'm getting really tired of seeing people spawning like a tank. And I'm talking like I said, like between the 6, 7, 8-0 area. People spawn in a tank, die, and they're gone within the first 2 minutes. And it's not just exclusive to like high BR, like 8-0 and all that stuff. But if you're worried about Silver Alliance and repair costs and stuff, then that's not so much the game. That's you dying too much. Plus, what's the point of bringing a vehicle, one vehicle, with a backup, if you're gonna die within the first minute or two every time? You're not getting any RP. You might as well be playing arcade, honestly. So bring a lineup, make sure they're as close to the same BR as your top tank, and if they're not, then bring down your top tank and bring everything else up, you know. That's pretty much what I gotta say about that. If your BRs are like crazy, fix it, honestly. But it doesn't make sense to bring just one vehicle. You're not like, I'm sorry to say, I'm gonna be kind of real with like the general community. You're not that good. Like, don't bring just one vehicle. Think you're gonna like pop off. You will have those matches, but those are too few and far between. Bring a lineup so you have something else to spawn in, so you can contribute something. If you're having a bad game, it's fine. It happens. It is what it is. But be smart about it. You know. If you feel like you are good enough to like just take one vehicle and pop off and maybe get like 5-6 kills, do it. All power to you. You're a better player than me, you know. But definitely bring a lineup, and you'll notice that you're gonna be rewarded based on how long you're in the game. Like how long you're in the game, hits, everything counts. So do it. You have nothing to lose. On to my next tip, and this is more for like if you're like on a light tank, you're like a little rat tank, and if you're like a medium tank who has like good depression, make use of what I call negative space. So what negative space is to me is sort of keeping like hills and stuff above you. You want to make use of like little dips. You want to use like ditches here and there. You want to make sure your vehicle is not being seen. So you want to, I guess, keep the horizon from the ground in the sky like above you, and try and flank and figure out how you're going to approach certain hills, ridges, cliffs. And this goes back to knowing your vehicle, whether you have 15 degrees of gun depression, 10 degrees, 8, 5, 3. Learn how to approach different slopes, and just make use of the negative space around you, you know. Tip number 9, use the attack map. This is something that a lot of people don't pay attention to, and not just attack map, the mini map. Sometimes you're just caught up in your own thing and you have like your own objectives, which isn't a bad thing. It's good, right? But you gotta look around you, because like, let's say a tank is spotted to the right and everyone's just focused on B. A tank is gonna flank everyone, is gonna kill everyone, you know. So you don't want that. You wanna minimize the chances of getting flanked, and plus you can secure more kills just doing that. The amount of times I've paid attention to where people are like, oh, attention to the designated good square. As annoying as it gets, sometimes they're useful, sometimes they're not. You never know. Plus, the person who's asking for help, you might have an angle on the enemy that the guy that's attacking your teammate. You know, so just be more aware of your surroundings. Use the attack map, use the mini map, look around. And another tip for that too is if it's been too quiet or you feel like you hear another engine, stop moving, turn off your engine and listen. You know, you don't have to play with a headset to hear other engines. You just have to not move for a bit and just see what's up. And then for tip number 10, there is gonna be one more tip after this, but it's more of a bonus tip. Select different spawns spread out. So before I load into every game, there usually are 2 different spawns, and there is usually 2 spawns for tanks, for helicopters, and for air. It's best if you want to like secure the chances of a win to have more map control and spread out. Oftentimes what you see, I don't know what that map with a little park is, where like a big statue where A's at. Yeah, but that map, right? Everybody will spawn at the spawn top left and top right, and we'll go at it at A because it's close quarters and stuff, and it's like an easy spawn trap, leaving B and C open for like the people who spawn there. And if your team is just going up there to die, it's not like a good thing. So try and see what makes more sense for y'all to hold, you know? And it also helps out, like if you're getting spawn trapped, switch spawns and go defend the other spawn, or switch spawns and go utilize it throughout tunnel vision on that one spawn, you know? Spread out more. That's pretty much what I gotta say about that. Just spread out more at the start of a match. Try and establish more map control, more dominance at the start of a match. And yeah, and on to my final tip, which is, like I said, it's a bonus tip. Play with confidence. There's no need to be scared, no need to hang back. I mean, yeah, you're researching, right? But you're never gonna learn what you're capable of doing. You might not be able to see, you might not be able to pull off some like epic moments if you just keep hanging back or keep hiding in corners. If you see a teammate needs help, go help them out, help them repair. And if yeah, and if you do that, like there's a chance for you to secure like a kill, or you might die helping a blueberry, but like, you know what, it's worth it. Every player is an asset to the game that contributes to you winning or losing. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Just be confident, have fun, be aware of your surroundings, make use of your binoculars and stuff. And yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. I hope this was able to help some of you out. I don't know if this video is gonna cut off right now with like the commentary and just let the rest of the game play out, or what's up, because I recorded the audio first, but we'll see. I will catch you all next week with another Call of Duty video. And yeah, with that being said, have a good weekend, be safe if you go out, and I'll catch you later. Peace.